You're watching Two Button Crew.
The daily show for Nintendo fans.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Simeon.
Mario fans, Metroid fans, Zelda fans.
Yes, the hardest of the hardcore.
The Zelda Wii U footage has been in our intro Two Button Crew's whole life. So
yep, since the beginning.
Right there with you, Zelda fans. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 Zelda dungeons.
At least in our experience.
Don't you love our cool titles?
Yes.
Like the animated. Gotta love that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody loves that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, the 10th best dungeon in the whole Zelda series.
Zelda.
Is the Ganon'S Castle from Ocarina of Time. This was very cool. Right outside of Ganon'S Castle, you get like this. I think you get inside. I can pick up giant towers, like 10 times as big as me. And then you go out and then you get the thing which makes everything do like half as much damage to you. And then you go back in. And I really like Ganon'S Castle because it does one of those like tie the whole game experience together. Like you go multiple paths. You gotta like beat old bosses kind of thing, use old items, and it's a great way to re-experience a lot of the great parts of the game leading up to the climax.
That's the way to do it. And speaking of doing that, the moon from Majora's Mask is our number 9 pick, and it does sort of the same thing. Like the whole game you're using, I say 4 masks, one of them is your face. But you're using these 3 other transformation masks, and they remix like dungeons in these challenges so that you have to reuse these masks in special ways to get through these challenges. And one of them is kind of infuriating, where you had to put on the Goron mask and you do a sonic spin dash for like ages and ages, and if you fall off then you have to start over again. And that's kind of annoying, but really it's a blast to play. And of course you finish the game with the Fierce Deity mask, and the Fierce Deity mask is awesome. It just kind of makes the last boss not a boss.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Number 8, City in the Sky from Twilight Princess. I can sum this up. Double claw shots.
Spider-Man.
Need I say
Heck
more?
Yeah.
Remember that dumb little Wii Flash game? There's 2
oh,
wires.
golly.
There's 2 wires.
There's 2 wires.
It was kind of like that.
Yes.
It was this browser game on Wii where you could play just by pointing and clicking, and there's something like it on iPhone. It's like, I don't think I have it anymore.
Oh.
But, ragdoll physics and all that. Anyway.
Basically Spider-Man.
Anyway, double claw shot's one of the coolest items in Zelda history. I'm sure that was on our list.
Agreed.
And it was quite a different dungeon. Lots of platforming puzzle kind of stuff.
Stuff that most Zelda dungeons don't have. And then top it off with a dragon to kill at the end.
Amen, brother.
Yes.
And dragons. You had to claw his tail down, slice him up.
Heck yeah. Number 7 is the Ice Palace from A Link to the Past. And this dungeon I kind of have mixed feelings about, but I picked it because it's memorable. Like A Link to the Past, of course, is a memorable game, but a lot of the dungeons to me like don't scream out like "Remember me," but this one definitely does. Or because
in Metroid Other M, "Remember me."
Yeah, remember me, princess. I think that's what he calls her. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but this dungeon was really infuriating because it was pretty large as far as like levels. Like the amount of levels was pretty scary, and it was just like a brain teaser. You're sliding around on the ice the whole time. You got these freaky things coming out from the wall at you. A limited magic supply, and it's all just one big puzzle. And I have never completed this dungeon without this dungeon without using a guide.
But do real gamers use guides?
I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about that in the past. Link in the description, I guess. But even when I went back and played through the game a second time, I still had to use a guide for that dungeon. That is how bad it was. But it's so bad that it's good. Like it's good. It's just infuriating.
Give you a good sense of accomplishment once you finally beat it, though. Number 6, the SNOWPEAK Ruins. More winter for you, as if we don't get enough of that where we live, Simeon.
Yeah, there's not going to be any more snow. That's the dumbest thing to say in the month of January. We're done for the winter. Are you serious?
There will be people cursing your name at the smallest snowflake.
Yes.
SNOWPEAK Ruins is from Twilight Princess, and it was that one really fun dungeon, which was all held within a Yeti's house. And that's kind of cool because they really tried to like undungeonify it.
Yes.
And you're going through the place like getting ingredients for soup, aren't you? Mm-hmm. To like soup him up or for his wife or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like it turned like errands in a house into a Zelda dungeon.
Basically.
Very clever.
Plus you got the ball and chain, which is an awesome item.
Wait, didn't you get that when you got married?
Oh! Hey,
no, I didn't.
Maybe that's a symbolism for the Yeti's marriage, is that in the middle of their marriage, it felt like a ball and chain relationship. But at the end,
felt like soup.
After the wife turned evil and tried to kill everybody, it became a love story again.
Yeah.
Do you remember that ending?
I do.
All the hearts flying around all over the place.
And you could heal yourself.
Yeah, you could heal yourself with
the
love of the Yetis.
Oh.
That is so weird. Heal yourself with the love of the Yetis. We gotta make that into a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt material right there.
Heal yourself. It's like treat yourself.
Heal yourself. Alright, where are we? Number 5 is Turtle Rock. We just had the Ice Palace was number 7. A Link to the Past dungeon. The other memorable dungeon to me, besides, there were 1 or 2 others, but Turtle Rock was great. There wasn't much floor to go off of. It was mostly, plop.
Turtles. Oh.
Yeah. What?
Turtles?
No. There was nothing. Like holes. You had to use the rod of some guy or other.
Yes.
To
love that one.
Make a block that you could fly around on. And once again, you had to be conservative with your magic energy, and you it's a difficult dungeon, very trying, dark dungeon, kind of scary, and also the boss is pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Like I had to trial and error it for a long time before I beat.
Did you play this game before or after I did?
After.
That's good, because you remember a lot better than I do.
Yes.
Number 4, Ice Ruins from A Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds had this really cool mechanic of flattening yourself along walls, and I think that it made a lot of the dungeons more interesting, so it was hard to pick a favorite from all of them, but the Ice Ruins sticks out to me because there were so many great puzzles as far as like layers to the dungeon. There were so many floors. You had to try not to fall a lot of times, but then sometimes you had to try to fall strategically to get to the place in the floor beneath. There are also lots of like really narrow paths that were really fun to try to walk on without falling and stuff. And it's a very memorable stage. Dungeon. Lots of good
dungeon
puzzles throughout it.
Dungeons of Duns. I don't know what I just said. Number 3 is the Stone Tower Temple from Majora's Mask, and this one is a fan favorite. Just getting to the tower is difficult. First of all, you had to climb around the outside of it, and then once you get in, it's a fun dungeon, and then all of a sudden... Fungin? Yes. We're making just all kinds of words that rhyme with dungeon, but aren't. Fungin... what did I just say? Like dunge or gungeon or something? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you flip the dungeon upside down, which is craziness. And then once you get to the end, you put on the Giant's Mask to defeat the boss and then become ginormous. It's the only room in the game that you can use that mask without glitching it out. And so it's awesome.
Number 2,
awesome.
The runner-up is Temple of Time from Twilight Princess. This was kind of a brutal dungeon, I think.
It was.
It did lots of damage to you. There were those lasery statues trying to constantly laser right through you. But I think what really earns it its spot is the Dominion Rod.
Absolutely.
Which, how cool is that to have? And you could like cast your magic-y spell into statues and possess them, move them around, and block you from lasers and everything.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I also liked possessing like the little pots that would hop around. Do you remember doing that?
Maybe you could be my statue, and I can just rod you around. We'll do that after this episode.
We'll go out into the town and
Dominion Rod in your life.
Yeah.
And then I try it on other people, and they're like,
"What in the world?" You have like a little ping pong ball on the top of your rod, and you throw it at people. That would be great. Oh, fun stuff. Number 1 is the Arbiter's Grounds from Twilight Princess. And this one, how could we not have this at number 1? Yeah, first of all, the dungeon's awesome. You're going around trying to kill these Poes.
yeah.
Not Poe people, but like Poes.
Or popos.
Or Popos. No, yeah, we're not killing Popos. Where you're going after the Poes, ripping their hearts out, which is also kind of like scary, but you defeat the Poes, and then you get the spinner, which is awesome inside that dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Outside of that dungeon, there's not too much use for it. And then the big grand finale, the coolest boss, pretty much, at least I think so, in the Zelda franchise, Star-Lord, the crazy awesome dinosaur of skeletonness that
oh my goodness,
you kill,
that
and then
was epic.
Yes, and then so he's dead, and then you have to re-kill him, and then his head comes back, and you have to re-kill his head. Like, that's pretty epic.
You just got me excited for Twilight Princess HD. Good job, Sam.
Yes, Twilight Princess HD.
Isn't it unfortunate that Link was wetting his skirt as his amiibo was molded?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Say goodbye to Weak Stream and hello to Alexa. Oh my god.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and buy t-shirts. We'll see you next time.
This is terrible. Signing out. Oh golly.